Welcome to Algebra, Simplifying and Evaluating Expressions. This is lesson number 6. Welcome. This is the last lesson in this unit on algebra. We're going to put everything that we've learned together. That's going to include identifying like terms, simplifying them, and then following that, evaluating. So we're going to jump right in with example number 1. Simplify the following expression, then evaluate given x equals 2. So I want to point out that there are two distinct things happening here. The first thing you're being asked to do is to simplify the following expression. So if I were your teacher and I were going to be assessing you on this, I would want to see that you knew how to simplify the following expression by gathering all the like terms together and then combining them like integers. The second thing I would be looking for in the assessment is your ability to evaluate given a particular value for the variable. So in this case, given a value of x equals 2. So two distinct things we're looking for. Let's make sure that when we're doing questions like this, we're always aware of the instruction and that we are being asked to do two distinct things. First, simplify, and after that, evaluate. So let's start by simplifying the following expression. So we have positive 3x plus positive 1 plus positive 2x plus positive 4. Let's find the terms that are alike. So I have a positive 3x at the beginning. Terms that are like that will have x to the exponent 1. I look down the line and I see one right there, positive 2x, and nothing else I see is like that. So let's have a look at the second term here, a positive 1. That doesn't have a variable. That's okay. Let's see if there's any other terms in our expression without variables. There is right here, positive 4. So that's all of our terms. Let's do a rewrite, and then we'll simplify. Plus 3x plus positive 2x plus positive 1 plus positive 4. So there's our rewrite. Our next step is going to be to combine each of these pairs of like terms. So a plus 3x plus positive 2x is going to give us a positive 5x plus, and the second set of terms simplified will give us a positive 5 as well. So this is the simplified step, and I'm going to highlight that in green because that's the color we picked for simplify. So this is my simplified step right here, or my simplified stage. Now I've been asked to evaluate every time I see x equal to 2. So I'm going to do that in my next step. I'm going to substitute, every time I see an x, I'm going to substitute in a value of 2. So here I have positive 5, and there's my x, so I'm going to put in my positive 2. Now they just said 2, but I know that that is going to be a positive 2 if the sign isn't written. And then we're going to add positive 5 to it. So what's interesting here is now we get to practice our order of operations. So which operation are we going to perform first? If we remember back to our unit on order of operations and integers, we're going to do multiplication and division first, followed by addition and subtraction. So here we have a little bit of multiplication happening right here, a plus 5 times plus 2. So when we do that little bit of mathematics, we end up with a positive integer times a positive integer is going to give me a positive product, and 5 times 2 is 10, plus positive 5. So now the multiplication is finished, just addition remains here for me, so we're adding two positive integers. That means my answer will be positive, and 10 plus 5 gives me 15. So there is my evaluated answer, and I'll highlight that in the evaluated color. So there we have two things happening: simplifying, boom, getting it down to the smallest number of terms that still include the variables, and then evaluating, taking a particular value for the variable, substituting it in, and then doing all the operations. So these are a little bit time consuming. Let's try example number 2 here together, and then we'll leave you guys to try the third one on your own. Simplify the following expression, then evaluate given a equals 1 and b equals negative 3. Okay, same instruction. Simplify first, then evaluate using these two particular values for the variables. So let's start at the beginning. We are going to take our first term. There it is. That's a negative 2a. Look down the line for other terms that are like it that also have a to the exponent 1. There is a positive 4a. I don't see anything else that's like it. So let's look to the second term now. In the second term, there is a b. That's actually a positive b. Again, they haven't written it. That's okay. And a positive 2b right there. So those two terms are alike. Before we do our rewrite step, let's have a look down the line to see if we're going to be combining using addition every time. And we see that there's one here that needs to be changed to addition. And when we change that, we must also change the sign of the term that's immediately after it. So we've done that now. Let's do our rewrite step here. We have negative 2a. plus positive 4a plus, I'm going to put this in, positive 1b. Again, this is just to sort of keep an integer in front there. I don't have to write it, but this will help me during the next step, plus negative 2b. So there we have it. That's my rewrite step. Now we're going to combine. We've got all addition. This is looking great. A negative 2a plus a positive 4a. So these two integers, they have different signs. The larger of the two is positive, so we're going to have a plus. And 4 and 2, their difference is 2, and we keep the variable a. Plus, and now we're going to combine the last two terms that are alike, a plus 1b plus negative 2b. Signs are different. So the larger of the two is negative, so that's going to be the sign of our result. And the difference between 2 and 1 is also 1, and there is our b. So that is our simplified answer. They're simplified. Now from here, we are going to substitute in and evaluate. So let's do that step next. For every time we see an a, we're going to put in a 1. So there is a plus 2 times a plus 1. Added to, and every time we see a b, we are going to put in a minus or negative 3. So we have minus 1 times minus 3. And now we're going to evaluate. So we've got order of operations here. We actually have, again, multiplication and division before addition and subtraction. So we're going to do this little bit of multiplication first as we see it left to right, and then we're going to follow it up with this set right here. So the first one, a positive 2 times a positive 1 will give me a positive 2, plus a negative 3 times a negative 1 times a negative 3 will give me a positive 3, and there we are. One more step to go. We're going to combine these two positive integers. We're going to have, since they have the same sign, our result's going to be positive, and 2 plus 3 gives me 5. And again, there is the evaluated answer, and I'll do that in purple just to sort of line them up. So again, we've got simplified, we've got evaluated. Let's move on to the very last example. I'd like you guys to try this one on your own. So hit pause here in the video, give this one a try to follow the steps through. When you get an answer, come on back and we'll check how you did. Okay, let's get a look at this. Again, we want to start by finding our like terms. So here we have our positive 3c. We look down the line. There is a negative, I'm going to write it in, a negative 1c. And we'll also notice the last term also contains a c, positive 2c. Is that okay? Sure, we can have 3, 4, as many terms as we like that are alike. And the only term remaining after we're done that is a positive 2d. It's all by itself, so we're just going to leave it. The next step is going to be a rewrite, but first we want to make sure that we are always combining using addition. So some things need to be changed. For that subtraction to become addition, the term afterwards has to have its sign changed to negative 2d. Another one that needs changing here, we want this to be addition. That means now we're going to be adding plus, or will be plus 1c rather, and the last term is okay. So let's jump to our rewrite step here. Start by writing our c's first. So we have positive 3c plus positive 1c plus positive 2c, a lot of c's right there, plus negative 2d. So there's my rewrite step. Got the 3 like terms at the beginning. Again, you can have 3 or more. It's no big deal. Now we are going to combine those. So if we have a positive 3, another positive 1, and another positive 2, that's going to give us a positive 6c. And we didn't end up doing anything to the minus 2d. So we're just going to leave it right there where it is. Okay, so this is simplified now. This is the simplified step. Now we are going to move on to the evaluation step. And the